Hi folks, this is Larry Port from Rocket Matter. We're going to take a quick look at Rocket Project Management, which is a really powerful workflow engine for your law firm. So let's go into our settings and let's take a look at what we have for Rocket Project Management. What we're going to first do is we're going to take a look at what we call our matter types. And for our purposes today, we're going to keep it real simple. We are just going to have this one right here. This is our auto accident matter type. So that's all we're going to be focusing on. So you can define multiple different matter types. You can have auto accidents, you can have uncontested divorces, you can have bankruptcies, whatever it is that you're working on, you can define a matter type for that different type of matter. Completely up to you. The next thing we're going to talk about is for that matter type, what statuses can it be in? Okay, so here's what we have defined. For our auto accident, we can have, for example, we can have demand, we can have litigation, we can have client receiving treatment. So we can have new case, we can have file closed, case intake, anything that we define. So we can give them names, we can give them descriptions so that everybody in the firm is on the same page in terms of what statuses they can go through, right? So you have a matter type that can be in one of many different types of statuses. Now, they can't just go from status to status. You have to define it. So we're going to take a look at the auto accident matter type that we created. And if you look down here, you see that there's very specific transitions that things can go through. For example, if it's in litigation, the next status could be filed closed. If it's in settlement, right here, the next transition could be file closed. If it's in demand, it can go into litigation. If it's in demand, it can go to settlement. So you see that what this does is this keeps you on the rails. This makes sure that when somebody's working on your case in your firm, you don't necessarily have to ensure that everybody has memorized your process document. This enforces the process document so that cases are marshaled in a regular manner through the phases that you want them to be in. So that's a very nice feature. And you can define these, and it's very, very flexible. So it's completely up to you. Now, wouldn't it be nice if when you move a case from one status to the next, all the tasks in those things, all the calendar events, and all the custom fields that you had for those different statuses would automatically come in. So for example, when you move to new case intake, wouldn't it be great if all the new case intake tasks and deadlines were in there? If you move into the litigation phase, wouldn't it be great if all those tasks and deadlines were carried over directly into the matter without you having to do any work? Well, we provide that tool. And the way we do that is with our template functionality. So let's go take a look at that. These are our matter templates. And let's take a look, for example, at Florida PI Auto Accident 1.1. This is a matter template that we've defined in our law firm. And you don't have to define these. If you have trouble setting these up, Rocket Matter can do this. We have a professional services team that can do this. So if we take a look at this matter template, we can see that it's part of that auto accident status type. And it's in, that auto accident matter type. And it's part of the new case intake. So every time you're in that matter type with that status change, all of these tasks that you defined here will be brought in. This is a calendar event, intake meeting with client. This is the task with a little checkbox, send subrogation letter to plaintiff's health insurance, if any. And all the different things that you have in this matter template will be brought in if you create a case of this type. Let's see an example. Okay, so here we are creating a matter. I'm going to make myself as the client, and I'm going to call this purple versus white for my alma mater Northwestern's colors. This is the open date. I'm going to say it's an auto accident case, and I'm going to say it's a new case intake. That's the only status that I can choose when I'm creating a new case. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to save this matter. Now, what the system is going to do is, because it knows that I'm in new case intake for this matter type, it's going to say, hey, this is the template that's going to go with it. Are you cool with this? So it says all this information for me, the tasks that are going to be created, the events that are going to be created. Here's the subrogation thing that we saw before, and these custom data fields that I'm supposed to fill out. So I am going to click save. And here's my new matter with all the new things that I have to do. And if we look up here where it says matter workflow, We see what matter type I'm in. I can change the status from new case intake to auto client receiving treatment because that's what I defined on my setup screens. Now, what we'll cover next, but outside the scope of this video, is the reporting on this, because you'll be able to see all of your cases and what status they're in and if they're ahead or if they're behind schedule.